to another episode of Women in Focus. Our woman in focus today is a police officer. No, she's not here to arrest me, but I'm here to talk to her. Her name is Devanshi Vyas and she's with VPD. But the reason why we've got her here is because she is a pageant winner, one of those international pageants that she won. But let's ask her all about that. Devanshi, you're most welcome in our program. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. Thank you so much for having me here.
So let's talk about, I see these crowns are lying here.
Yes.
And the sash at 24, 25.
Yes.
So you just recently won these pageants.
I did. Yes.
Okay, we'll talk about the pageants in a minute. Let's talk about the VPD. How long have you been with them?
So I started off my journey as being a special municipal constable with them. I was
Okay.
a jail guard.
Okay.
And from then on, I applied last year to become a full member.
Okay.
And I got the job, and I'm currently training right now, getting training in firearms and everything as such.
Wow.
And it's been such a thrilling journey.
I bet.
Yeah.
So when they are teaching you all that, I don't expect a true answer to that, but do they want you to be very stern and look at people in their eye and not smile at all?
No, definitely not. Policing is definitely something that you have to work with the community.
Right.
There's a lot of trust that has been lost. And our main focus is to help the community out and
Right.
be there. We don't
Yes.
want to assert our assertiveness right away.
Right.
We want to empathize.
Yes.
And we want to work with the situation that comes to us.
Okay, that's a very good answer, you know.
Thank you.
Now, a police career and then getting into beauty pageants.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
When I was a little girl, my mom and dad always told me that I learned how to dance before I could walk.
Okay.
So music has been something that's been prevalent in our family.
Okay.
And I started off my journey as becoming a dancer. I'm a professional dancer. I've won Dance World Cup for Canada. I've won gold
Wow.
in 2019.
Wow.
And I've won medals for Shah McDover's competition, and I've competed internationally in London and everything. And that's how I got scouted to be a model. So becoming a dancer led to my journey of becoming a model.
Okay.
And from then on, I got opportunities to compete in pageants. And my first pageant was with Miss British Columbia.
Okay.
And that did not go well.
Why?
I was very nervous.
Yeah.
And when I got to the question and answer round, I totally fumbled. And I got stage fright. And I never had stage fright as a dancer.
No.
So from then on, my parents were like, no, you can do this. They encouraged me to compete into more pageants.
Right.
And I won Miss International America last year.
Okay.
And this year, I decided to compete again because I'm never satisfied with one crown. I always want more. So I competed again, and I got 2 crowns this year. And with Miss Grand International Canada title, I will be competing in Myanmar in November of next year.
Wow.
And I'll be representing Canada on an international stage.
Isn't that just awesome?
Yeah.
So, and then if you win that, then you'll be a world beauty.
Yes. Yes.
Now, beauty pageants, some people think that it's to be very vain.
Yeah.
You're just beautiful, other people are not. How do you see that?
Definitely, that's something that a lot of people have asked me.
Yes.
And honestly, kudos to Minal D-Rock. She's been my pageant coach throughout my entire journey. Her coaching program is called D-Rock's coaching program.
Okay.
And she has actually instilled me with empowerment and confidence to compete in pageants as such. Because I too had a perception that pageants were only for those that are beautiful and thin and, you know, like the magazine model figure kind of thing. But no, definitely not. Getting into pageantry has made me use my voice
Yes.
towards something that I'm very passionate about.
And what are you passionate about?
Advocating for women. I want women to use their voice to stand up against societal stigmas. There's been a lot of societal stigma, even as a police officer right now. And I've flown planes, so I've gone into aviation, I've become a pilot. But there's a stigma that women can't do male-dominated
Yes.
careers. And I want to break that. And there's also a stigma that if a woman can be stern and go into male-dominated careers, she can't follow her passion. So I'm following my passion, and I want to show women that you can as well.
So, in other words, people think that if a woman is doing a man's job, she is more manly than feminine. So
Exactly.
you want to keep both those sides, that you can do that job as well, but also be a very feminine young woman, winning all the pageants.
Exactly.
Now, is winning a pageant the epitome of, your career goal?
No, definitely not. It is something that I'm very passionate about.
Yeah.
It's something that I never want to let go of. It's something that's keeping me driven every day. I go to work, I'm in a uniform, I come home, and on the weekends I do things like this. So that keeps me going. It doesn't bore me out, or it doesn't make me feel that I'm incompetent. It makes me strive for more.
So when you are in a pageant, there are many other women
Yes.
who are participating in it, or other people that are participating in it. Is there this feeling of jealousy, or I have to do it better than the other person, or is it just I have to groom myself to be who I am?
The way I see it is that I'm my worst competition.
Okay.
I'm my worst critique.
Yes.
So whenever I'm in a competition stage, like a pageant or dancing or
Yes.
anything like that, I always see myself as being my competitor. So I have to do better than what I did last time.
Right.
And obviously the women that are there, they're also there to grow and learn. And the beautiful thing about pageantry is that you learn different things from different people.
Yes.
You learn how they answer questions. You learn how sometimes women have different walking styles.
Right.
So when you see somebody, you're like, I really like that. And then for me, I go up to that person, I'm like, can you show me how you did that? Because that looks really nice.
Right.
So it's a learning experience. It's a learning curve for me.
It's beautiful the way you've mentioned it, going to someone and saying, I like that and I would like to learn that.
Yeah.
And that is not being conceited about, I know everything.
No. I feel like a lot of people nowadays, they look at social media and they get influenced by that. And they want to be something that social media represents, something that's on a magazine,
Yes.
something that's not real. And when you compete in these pageants, that's when you blur the lines between what's real and what's not.
You mentioned that your mom and dad encouraged you to continue when you didn't win the first one.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about family life. So let's take a short commercial break and come back to that.
Yeah.
Devanshi is our woman in focus today. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Women in Focus. Our woman in focus today is Devanshi Vyas. Devanshi, your name is very interesting. Now, what part of India does it come from?
I'm from Gujarat. I'm Gujarati.
Okay. Were you born in Gujarat? Were you born in Canada?
I was born in Gujarat.
Really?
Yes.
Lovely. And what part of Gujarat were you born in? Oh, this is where Mr. Modi is from.
Yes. Yes. I was born in Baroda.
Baroda.
Yeah.
Now, Baroda is one of those big cities in Gujarat, isn't it?
It is.
The
yeah.
hub of all IT and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, how did you guys come to Canada?
We immigrated when I was like a few months old. My dad used to live in Dubai for 15 years.
Wow.
So my parents lived in Dubai for like about a year or so, and we immigrated to Toronto. And from then on, my parents were involved in partnership businesses with motels and things like that
Right.
in America. So we moved around a lot in America. I've been to like 7 different schools. And finally in 2008, we came and settled down in BC.
Oh my God. So you haven't been here for that long?
No, not my entire life.
No. Now, it is, and this is a cliched statement I'll make, Gujarati people are very smart as far as money is concerned and business is concerned. And I always say India can be divided into 4 parts, and the north can be all, burly, and the south can be all creative and dancers. The east can be all brainy people. The west can be all business people.
Yeah.
So that fits well with Gujarat.
Yeah.
Gujaratis are very smart in business.
They can be. Yes, I would agree to that. My dad was an accountant, so I think he falls into that category for sure. But I would also like to say that they are very homely. They
Yeah.
believe a lot in family.
How many in the family?
It's just me, my parents, and now
You're the,
it's just me
you're
and
the
my
only
mom.
child.
I'm an only child.
Wow. No wonder they let you do whatever you want to do.
Yes, but they were very encouraging. They never wanted me to do something that I wasn't interested in. They never forced me to do something. Like, they never told me that you have to become a doctor, you have to become an engineer. No, you can do whatever you want. You want to dance? Go ahead, do that. We have full support.
Now, as a child and dancing, and you mentioned with Shah Maktabar's school as well, how was that? How long were you with them?
So I'm actually like a self-taught dancer.
Oh, okay.
I competed with competitions that were hosted by Shah Maktabar.
Oh, I see.
And
you didn't learn from them.
I did not, no. I learned from YouTube videos.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
When I try and watch YouTube videos, in my head I dance beautifully. But you ask me to do a step, forget it. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
I can't learn from YouTube videos. How easy or difficult is it?
It was very difficult.
Yeah.
I always, whenever I compete, I always try to learn a different style of dance. So I push my strengths. And I've learned hip hop, I've learned salsa, I've learned jazz, all from YouTube. And it's definitely been an amazing journey.
I mean, you know, in my head, I'm trying to visualize you as a police officer, and also visualizing you as a beauty queen. And I can't mix them both together because they seem two different categories of, you know, professions.
Yeah.
You also mentioned that you are a pilot. And how did that come about?
So I've always been told that I can't do something.
I cannot do something, or can do?
I cannot. I cannot do something.
Oh, you've got that streak in you as well.
Yes. So that has happened, that I've had family members tell me that, no, why are you becoming a pilot? You should become a doctor. And, you know, I've been bullied since I was growing up. I've been bullied extensively. And I think that has sparked an energy within me to do something that if somebody tells me that I can't do one thing, I'm going to show them that, yes, I can. I'm my only limit, and I can only test myself. You cannot judge me for who I am.
Isn't that beautiful? So someone said you can't be a pilot.
No.
And then you said, okay, I'm going to be a pilot. How long does it take to be a pilot?
It depends. So I did it part-time because I was also working full-time on the side. So I got my first license. There are a couple of licenses that you have to get. So I'm currently still training to become a pilot right now as well, getting my hours to become a commercial pilot. And it takes anywhere between 2 to 3 years if you do it full-time.
Okay.
But if you do it part-time, it takes longer.
Maybe double the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you, and when you, not if, because you're going to do it, when you do become a full-fledged commercial pilot, what happens to the VPD job?
That is always going to stay.
Yes.
My dad's dream was to become a police officer, and he is no longer with us. He passed away in 2020. So that is a legacy that I want to keep continuing, and I want to help the community that I serve. I want to let South Asian women know that if I can do something like this, so can you. And I just want to be that building block in society that helps youth get to where they want to be. However, I can always mix becoming a pilot and becoming a police officer because...
And a beauty queen.
Exactly, because police departments also have pilots.
So are you the first woman to become a beauty queen or run in a pageant and win a pageant?
I am the first police officer to win a pageant.
Oh, wow. Isn't that just beautiful? And how was it taken within your own department?
I got so much of support, so much of encouragement, which I did not expect at all, because I still have that thinking that if you're doing something professional, you should stick to that.
Yes.
You should not let your personal life get in the way. But once everybody found out, my sergeants and all my coworkers, they were very proud. And more than me, they were telling everybody else that she can do this, she can do that. So I was very pleased.
You mentioned a few times that, you know, you're doing all this. If I can do it, so can other women. And I want to show other women that they can do all that. I want to talk a little bit about that because women empowerment is the buzzword at the moment. But there are very few people who understand what that means and how to implement that. So let's take a short break and come back.
Yeah.
Devanshi is our Woman in Focus today. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Women in Focus. Devanshi Vyas is our Woman in Focus today. A beautiful young woman who is a police officer who is a beauty pageant, has participated in that, and is a pilot. Maybe I should throw another profession at you and say, I don't think you've done all this, I don't think you can do this. And then you probably will, you know, I want to do that. I don't think you can be a broadcaster.
Well, maybe I can.
Women empowerment, as I mentioned, that is a buzzword at the moment, you know.
Yeah.
You go and see, I was recently at an event for women. It was a very nice event, and it was Be the Light gala. And they were all women empowering each other, saying, you can do this, you can do that. So in your mind, when you do something like this and you win these pageants or become a police officer or, you know, go fly a plane, what message are you trying to give to women?
The only message that I want to give to them is that your voice is the biggest power that you have. If you can't stand up for yourself, you can't expect other people to stand up for you. And I believe that beauty comes from within. No matter what society tells you, self-love is the best weapon that you could use against them. And that's what I want to tell women, that if you can be your knight in shining armor,
Yes.
you can defeat anything, and you can be empowering. You can be the strong masculinity that's lost within you, or that you think you do not have. And yeah, you are your biggest weapon, and you are your biggest armor.
And your biggest asset as well, to a certain extent.
Exactly. Yeah.
Isn't it? I mean, many women feel that they are stuck in a rut.
Yeah.
And how can they get out of that? So what are the steps that they should be taking to get out of that rut?
The one thing that helped me out is following my passion.
Ah,
If there's something that you really like to do, like a hobby, whether it be reading, going on walks, or something more extravagant like dancing or pageants, you do that, because that will help you clear your mind space.
yes.
That will help you gain more optimism, and that will help you gain a clarity of what you want in your life.
When you were on the stage and you saw that yourself winning the pageant, what were the emotions that were going through you at that time?
I was very nervous.
Yeah.
I believe that being a little nervous is always okay. That means that you're not overconfident. But I was very excited, because this was something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. Whether I win or I don't win, it can always be a lesson that I learn. And one thing that my dad always told me is that you should act like a piano. So there's white keys and black keys in a piano.
Yes.
The white keys symbolize optimism, positivity. Black keys symbolize negativity. But you are the person that plays the piano and makes a crescendo of music out of it. So if
With
you...
both the positive and the negative.
Exactly. So if you can make music out of positive and negative, you can inflict that in your life as well.
Yeah.
So he always told me that, and that's something that I always carry on with me.
So the last pageant that you won, this was just recently, right?
Yes, this was recently.
And then which is the next one that you are eyeing at the moment?
It will be Miss Grand International,
Uh-huh.
and that will be in Myanmar in November of next year.
And then you will be taking time off and flying in your own plane, or maybe in a charter flight?
Oh, I wish. But no, I'll probably take a flight there.
Well, let's just think about having your own plane.
Yeah.
That's something that maybe you'll be able to do it. I mean, you've got all that power to do it, so why not?
Yeah, I agree.
So once you win all these pageants, and then what? Where is your, what else is it that you've got your eyes set on?
This is just the start. I have my eyes set on Miss South Asia World,
Okay.
Miss Universe, all of those things.
Yes.
And as you can see, I'm very petite. So there's also a stigma attached to pageantry that you have to be tall.
Yes.
And that's something that I want to break as well.
Right.
That height isn't something that you can delineate to a
Yeah,
person.
I was going to ask you that height means a lot in policing as well,
Yeah.
to a certain extent, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
And strength too. So if I did an arm wrestle with you, would you be able to defeat me?
I think I would.
So you have to be strong as well.
Yes.
In everything, in all the jobs that you have, all the passions that you have.
Yeah.
These are difficult ones where whereas there is a stigma put that a woman cannot be a police officer, or she is too short, or she
Yeah.
is, you know. Isn't that interesting?
It's very interesting. Even when some people, they find out that I'm a police officer, they ask me that, oh, you must be working inside the office. And I'm like, no, I'm working outside, I'm patrolling. And that's also something that's attached to me being petite. And it's definitely not been an easy journey. I've
No.
had to work out a lot, increase my strength to pass the physical fitness tests and everything as such. But it's also to show that nothing is impossible. If a 6-foot male can do it,
Yeah.
a 5'2" female can do it as well.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, I definitely want to complete all of my licenses.
Yes.
Become a full-fledged pilot.
Yes.
I want to continue growing as a police officer, continue to learn different things, and you know, I have my goal set up that I want to climb the ladder. So I have my eyes on promotions and stuff like that, but that will obviously take time.
Yes.
And obviously with competitions and stuff, I want to continue with my dancing, with pageantry, and I just want to keep being optimistic.
Does that give you any time to look for Mr. Right, or?
I do have somebody.
You
in
do
my
have
life.
someone
Yes.
in your life. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes. So we've been together for 7 years.
Yes.
And obviously a wedding will be coming soon as well.
And how did you meet him?
We met at the airport. Yeah, so he used to work as a screening officer.
Right.
And I used to work on the ramp.
Yeah.
I used to load bags and everything as such. And he actually caught me to, I had to press the randomizer to
Right.
see if I was allowed to go in or not. And it turned red, so that means I had to be searched. And he looked into my bags, and I had my pilot books.
Yes.
And he happens to fly as well.
Oh, okay.
So he asked me, he's like, oh, you're a pilot. And I'm like, yeah, I'm studying to become one. And that's how it sparked. And he's like, oh, let me get your number. And everything just went from there.
Beautiful. I'm
Yeah.
so glad to hear that.
Yeah.
So, wedding bells soon in 2025, I hope.
Hopefully, I'm trying to just settle in with my career.
Yes.
Get that done first.
Yes.
And then hopefully within the next 2-3 years. Yeah.
All the more power to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for being a Woman in Focus today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Devanshi has been our Woman in Focus today. Don't go away. We'll be right back.